wild cat's gotta ramble. The lion's out the cage. My soul is filled with rage. I don't know what's gonna do, but I gotta move. Moving down the line.
I would like you to give me the top three trends concerning distribution and travel for the preceding years.
Well, I think top three in my mind. The first one would be the retail proliferation in the airline business and any other travel supplier business. The second is going to be the use of search and mobile. And I think the last piece of it would be how mobile interacts across the travel life cycle of the customer. Meaning that the use of mobile for purchase, post-purchase, when you travel, when you stay, to communicate with the supplier, the provider of travel will be pretty big.
And a few comments if you have concerning the conference, what do you think of it, and if you would try and convince someone to come over here next time.
Yes, I'm actually quite pleased with the turnout. I think there are quite well over 80 to 100 people here for a specific niche market such as Southern Europe and the Mediterranean. It brings some more insight. It's a very fragmented travel base. But I think for us, especially in the US, having better insight into this market and bringing our brands closer to a lot of the travel partners here is one of the best things I think we can do.
The top three trends concerning travel distribution in the preceding years.
Sure, I'll try my best. I can certainly think of two. One is, one of the challenges that we have that we are trying to get better at, and I think the lodging industry needs to get better at, is how do you connect and how do you do a better job of matching supply and demand as intelligently as we can. In the Expedia world, we work with over 130,000 hotels, and we have about 70 million people walking through our doors every month. And how do you make sure that we are able to deliver the right customer to the right hotel and in a manner that kind of makes sense? So I think that is one of the areas that we've gotten better at, but there's a long way to go. And I would recommend and suggest that the lodging industry specifically take that into account. That's number one. Second is mobile. We saw on the Expedia side about 4 times our traffic now, as opposed to last year, is coming through the mobile device of some way, shape or form. So that is some area that we will certainly be focusing a lot on. And third, in terms of, I wouldn't call it a trend, but something that we certainly need to be aware of, increasingly in the last couple of years. We've seen the lodging industry as such discriminating against a customer based on the channel that they've used to make a booking. Hotels tend to treat the customers who make a direct booking really well. But the moment a customer has booked through any other channel, they're discriminated against. They're giving a room next to the elevator. They're giving a room that faces the garbage dump, hoping that the next time the customer books the hotel, they will book direct. That's not the way the world works. When a customer has a bad experience, they walk out the door saying, I will use Expedia the next time, I will simply book a different hotel. So one of the ideas for the industry, and as you look at the trend, is you want to reverse that. You don't want to discriminate against a customer based on the channel that they've used. So those are the 3 top things I can think of.
Oh, great. And a few words, if you can, concerning the conference. What do you think of it, and if you would suggest someone to come and see it next time?
No, thank you. First and foremost, it was an honor and a privilege to be here with such a wide audience. I was very engaged and challenged with my colleagues and speakers that we had, and it seems that it's unfortunate. I'm going to be here only for a little bit, and I need to rush out. But I think the level of engagement that you had from the audience was fantastic. My first trip to the Mediterranean, and I can tell you that I will be back. but in terms of looking at the agenda, it seems that you have the required expertise and the depth of knowledge in terms of speakers. Is just my misfortune that I'm not going to be able to spin through the entire conference. But it seems that one of the great things that I've seen in the conference is you've actually included people from the airline business. Maybe someone from the cruise business might not be a bad idea, because it's a big part of this region, and something I would recommend.
Thank you very much.
Indeed.
Privilege is ours for
Indeed.
having you here.
Thank you so very much. Thank you.
So I'm Rudy Godon from Microsoft, and I think in terms of top trends, I see two trends at the moment. Yeah, there are three. First one is real-time, having information real-time, whether it's through Twitter, whether it's through other sources, so people don't want to have any latency, they want to see the up-to-date picture. Second one is definitely location-based services, things that are relevant to where I want to go, where I am right now, so looking at where I want to go, sharing that experience, looking at it after my trip is very important. So it needs to be specific to the location, and then it's all social based, and there is already the trend that social media and peer recommendation is more important than what I find on Google or other search engines, and I believe that trend will further continue. So to be relevant means to be recommended by my friends. So engines, whether it's Chow that is based on peer-to-peer recommendations, or Facebook, etc., I think these will really form and shape how we make decisions in the future. In general, the conference is wonderful. What I really liked was the conversation around how does technology not only impact the operators and the private sector, but also implicates policy making, and how governments and tourist boards and tourist institutions need to respond to this, and how global competition has now reached tourism, and that it really needs to be thought of all the way down from a government through the local boards to the local businesses on how to compete on a global level in real time for tourists and for the money that is around there. So it's great to be here.
For strength, so I would say, as I see it, is definitely a stronger presence of the mobile technology, particularly stronger or increased usage of mobile devices and applications that enables tourism and travel industry and distribution in particular, not just distribution of information, but also increasingly possibility to book the travel services online with additional auxiliary services as well. Secondly, something that we cannot oversee is social media, just coming strongly and being used as additional channel on one hand, and also a media that can be used to support your brand and to make stronger marketing. The third one, I'm sure that, as we can see, that the search engine is becoming more and more sophisticated, enhanced, and consequently travelers do get more and more personalized services, and therefore they can use it more often. The conference was really high profile. What I liked most was really the practical contribution to the individuals. So there were definitely a lot of things that we can actually take home back and implement into practice. And on the other hand, I think it was very well organized, and also offered a lot of opportunities for the networking. So very good done.